fucking shit out that doesn't matter. Boom. All right. So
Test.
Shows up. Yep, there we go.
Test. All right. Cool.
Always got to make sure that it's working.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's fucking, like I said, I've had incidences where it's not. All right, here we are, and I don't want to see my face, so let's go back to that. It makes it real difficult. So, my man Camden, good from, what's your band?
D Bloc.
D Bloc, fucking the newest, probably Detroit hardcore band. That I know of. I don't know what sort of rise. So did this like rise up out of the pandemic and a few other bands, or
kind of? We had originally talked about it. So this has been like a brainchild of mine for a couple years now. It was originally, I think we talked about it when I would tour with Annie Up. It was supposed to be Justin, their drummer, John, their bass player, and then I think Thoma, their guitar player, and a couple other people, and then. Through this and that, the members changed. There's been people being busy, not being busy. Pandemic hits. Nothing. So then eventually, Alex Adams, somehow we connected. I don't really remember how, over the internet. He was in a band called Infiltrate from North Carolina.
Okay.
With a good friend of mine, Teddy, who sang in that band. So somehow we got talking, and he had said that he's moving back here. So I was just like, yo, if you ever want to jam or whatever, let me know. And then, like, bat out of hell, he's playing and calling all these people. And then before I know it, we had a couple people come over and start practicing. And
come on, dog. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I don't mind.
I'm distracting, but it's okay.
No, I got a dog too, man.
And the mascot. That's what we call her, Honey the mascot. God, they're both coming.
If dog sniffing my nuts was distracting, I would never get anything done.
Yeah. So I just heard your shit, and for some reason, it's exactly what I expected. Like not hearing anything, just
right.
Just the name alone and whatever's been happening on like Instagram, like seeing like this is gonna be some fucking heavy shit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's exactly what you get. So because so when did you start like this? You started like the Instagram at least like. Fucking November or October or something. I seen it. I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right. I'm notorious for like, I'll think of a band name, and then I'll like search Instagram, and I'll be like, "Yo, is there a band with this name?" And then I'm like, "No, it's a sick name. Like, I got to create an Instagram account so nobody takes it. So if somebody's like, "Yo, let me start a band called D Bloc. Let me see if there's one," they'll be like, "Fuck, there's already a D Bloc," So I probably have like 30. Instagram accounts of different bands that I don't know the passwords for or anything like that.
Well, but just the name, Detroit, I'm assuming. Yeah, Detroit hardcore, or it can be like a fucking prison cell, which is scary.
Right.
But it's just tough ass fucking dudes,
Yeah, they, I'm a huge comic book nerd.
Okay.
So like I was reading through, I don't know, I think it was a Punisher comic, and he gets put in jail, and they put him into D Bloc, which is where like all the hardened criminals and shit are. Oh, shit. So I was reading it, and I was just like, yo, that's sick, but it could be corny. You know what I mean? So I'm like, as soon as I thought, I'm like texting my friends, I'm like, is this corny or is this sick? And they're like, yo, that's sick. Like, keep that.
Well, because if it fits, like you said, like, Detroit too. Yeah. I mean, whether it's prison cell or whatever. Like, I don't know nothing about comic books, so
right.
But like, and Rich is now in the band too. Rich Ibarra, yeah. Him. Who else?
So it's Brian Williams, who played in Bass and High Alert.
Yeah.
And
good
Rich.
band. They're not together anymore now, right?
No, they broke up. Maybe a month ago.
Yeah. I seen it. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's definitely a bummer.
Yeah.
They were a young band. A lot of hype around them, and shit happens.
Yeah. Who else now?
Alex Adams.
Yeah.
Playing drums, who was in the Infiltrate that I said in North Carolina.
Oh, and then, 4 people in this band. Yeah. Okay.
He was in another band, Downcast, I think. There was a Detroit band, and then another band. They played Motor City Fest one of the years. I think the year that the Alliance played.
Yeah, shit.
I forget what the venue was.
Oh, yeah, that was 2016.
Yeah, with Sworn Enemy and all that.
Yeah. That was at City Club, that weird gothic place.
It's weird.
Have you been there when it wasn't a hardcore show?
No. I didn't even know the place existed, but I did think it was funny that, like, in the middle of the show, goth kids started coming in because I thought it was club night.
Yeah.
So they would, like, just sit on the edge, and be shook the whole time because they didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah,
It was weird, but it was cool.
Well, the first time I ever went to that place, I've only been there twice. Once the Motor City Fest, and maybe like 3 years before that, it was like this my wife's friends like fucking birthday or something, and they're like, "Let's go there." I was like, "I heard about that place," and it's like the weirdest, like fucking gothiest shit, like Rammstein playing,
Right, a lot of gas masks and
fucking
neon
strobe lights
colors
and fucking smoke. I was like, "What is this?" But the first time I went, I said, "This would be a fun place for like a hardcore show."
Oh yeah,
Just I like the stage and like the room setup,
and it had like I don't know what you want to call them, like the balconies going across the side. So like if you didn't want to get moshed on, you can just get your knees hit, I guess.
Yeah, it was fun. I wish that place would have had more. I don't know if it's like the right place because it's like goth people, and
it was weird too because like you'd be in the, I don't know what you want to call it, like the merch area or whatever, that's super dark, you can't see shit.
Yeah,
and then like you literally go around the corner and you're in like a hotel lobby that's like marble and like these huge staircases and shit like that. It was weird.
What's that hotel called? The Leland.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, did you know? Supposedly, that's the last location Jimmy Hoffa was spotted before he disappeared.
I mean, that's kind of sick. I wish I would have known that.
Yeah. In that hotel, I don't know what the affiliation was, but
that's a cool spot for sure.
Yeah. So I might be confused here, but I remember you saying something about North Carolina. Are you from North Carolina?
Nah. So I grew up in, I don't know if you know where Dundee is.
Oh yeah.
So it's like right outside of Toledo.
Cabela's.
Yeah. So I grew up, well, if you want to take it way back, born in San Diego, California. My dad was in the Navy. Moved back to Dundee when I was like a year, maybe 2 years old. Went to school there, grew up. Then I joined the military and got stationed in North Carolina. And so I spent like maybe 8 years in North Carolina from like 2007 till the middle of 2014.
And you were already into hardcore? Or?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 So, how old are you? I don't know.
Well, I'll be 35 in April.
Okay. Yes, I don't know. I was like, I might be the same age, maybe a little young. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'm a little old. It's weird to say 35.
Yeah, I'll be 34. I think that's fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
it's like an odd age where it's still kind of young,
like, no!
But it's like it feels, especially in hardcore, right? Where I always try to explain this to like my dad, where it's like I have friends that are in their mid 40s, and that's kind of weird if you think about it. In a normal situation where you have a 20-some-year-old kid hanging out with a man in their 40s, or it's vice versa. You're a 20-some kid and you're hanging out with a 16-year-old, or a 15-year-old picking them up and taking them to shows.
Yeah,
it's weird. It's super weird.
Yeah, I haven't ran into that because like I took a few years off, but like it's weird just like seeing these young ass kids like 16, 17, 18-year-olds. But I remember being that age, like looking at people my age, like there's a grown men here, and they're fucking swinging hard.
Yep. I remember having to go when I lived in North Carolina. We had a friend, his name's Squid. He was like, well, it's obviously not his real name, but we called him Squid. And he would, he was probably, I'm gonna say 13 years old, right? Really young, and it was super awkward because like he came from a good house, So his mom wanted to meet us before like we took him to a show. And man, that's awkward. Like going in as I think I was 22 at the time, maybe 23. And it's like, hey, I'm here to take your 13-year-old kid to a bar.
That's so crazy.
It's weird.
But, anybody on the outside like wouldn't understand where you're going. It's cool.
Right. I mean, I guess. I looking back on it, man, I'd be bummed if like my kid was getting picked up by a 20-some-year-old guy at 13.
Oh, shit. So... Dundee.
Yeah.
How's the commute? Like you getting to shows? Were you going to Toledo?
Yeah, mostly Toledo.
Yeah. So like Pierce and all those guys, like Mickey and shit.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't. I would say in the beginning, right? It was probably 90% Toledo shows, and then the Modern Exchange is going on, Alvin's, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So it was easy to transition there, but it was always way more comfortable. My parents were obviously way. They felt way better about me going to a show in Toledo than they did me coming up by myself to Detroit.
Yeah, a little bit closer. And
yeah.
For some reason, like if you got Toledo to Detroit, it's not as scary, I suppose. But I was pretty ghetto in Toledo.
Yeah, it's definitely not a joke down there either.
No, fuck no. Just like there's a couple places that I've been there, like shows, like I always get this place confused. It was in Toledo. I can't tell you what street, but I think it was like upstairs, maybe like a fucking like a Legion or something.
Oh, it was Vamps.
Vamps, was it like a Masonic?
Yeah, it used to be called the Masonic
Okay,
Temple.
okay. There's like a bar, like so you go up the stairs.
Yeah.
And there's like a weird stage, and the
And
bar
they had
was to the right.
the seats.
Yeah,
They had
yeah,
like
yeah. Because I went there. You were probably there. Were you there when? I don't know what year. Maybe 2006. It was Represent played.
Yeah, I think my band actually played that show.
A big giant fight outside.
Yeah.
And those kids got chased into that fucking place across the street.
Yeah. I still remember the cops, someone coming in, and it was like, the cops want to talk to anybody with tattoos. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I don't remember who it was, but somebody just started kicking out the back door, like smashed out the back door, bleeding everywhere, trying to get away from the cops. And the cops literally just took us, and they was like, hey, chill. We know what happened. You guys are good. Their parents are down there, and the parents are like pissed off because their kids got fucked up,
Yeah.
So we're just going to keep you guys in here until this all boils over. You guys have nothing to worry about. And it was sick, right? But the guy that kicked down the door, his hands are all bloody and shit like that from smashing the door. And I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah. So some sort of.
But yeah, I think if I remember correctly, the show was Represent, The Alliance, Strength and Honor. And I think I'm almost 100% sure that I was in a band called Chapel at the time.
Yeah, I remember Chapel.
And I think we played. We opened that show as well.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know what happened. Like, some kids were just walking by, like a couple of black dudes.
I remember very well.
Yeah, I was downstairs. Let's talk about it. That's such a good memory.
Yeah, because I was outside when shit popped off right away, and they yelled something like, I forget what they yelled. They yelled something like, fuck you guys, or some shit like that, and somebody took off running after them. Everybody followed, and there was a place right across the street called Yancey's or some shit like that. It's like a really nice steakhouse.
Yeah, I thought it was like a country club. That's what I always referred to it as. Yeah.
And there's like a fence that goes around it, and the kids that were running away didn't know that they were running into literally into a cage. And they took off running into there. And I would say, I don't know, 30 people just walked across the street, and it just chaos ensued.
Yeah,
and
just a fucking melee.
Bottles were getting thrown, everything. And
yeah, was I was standing, like, there was, how you walk out to the right, then there's like that like big giant parking lot.
Yeah.
And I was like standing like right there, like on the side of the wall. Like I see the dudes yelling. I see a fucking 40 ounce come flying at one of those guys. And then they just fucking took off across the street. And then like 30 people ran, and I mean I didn't even bother going across. I was like, "That's taken care of."
It got.
And, and I know, I remember a couple of people coming back with shoes. Man, they fucking ran those dudes' shoes.
What was funny is we, so obviously, like I said, Represent played that show. After I moved to North Carolina, it was 2007. I moved there, and Represent played in Raleigh, and I walked up to Derek and was talking to Derek, and started talking to him about that, and he's like, that's where I know you from. Like, that's it. So
I remember. I think he was banging his head off a stop sign, acting all crazy and shit.
Yeah, somebody was. I don't know who it was, but yeah, somebody kept. It was like a construction sign that, like, one of those big yellow orange.
Yeah.
I don't know what shape you call that. A diamond or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like a sideways square.
Square.
And he just kept like hitting his head off of it. I was like, damn, this is gonna get wild.
Yeah, I mean that was intimidating, like, enough. I was just standing there like, what is happening? And I remember they'd let me fucking buy beer there, like some like weird old guy. Yeah. Because I was only like 18, 19 when that shit was happening. So yeah, you too, obviously. Yeah. But you're straight edge, yeah?
Yeah. It was like, because the way that venue was set up was super weird, because you would like, I don't even know what was in the downstairs at all, but you come right in that door, you go up, and then like to the left there's the venue, and I think it was that show too. Represent was playing, and the power got cut out. Was it that show? And like,
I don't know
what the hell is this song called. Is it? I don't know how familiar you are with their songs, but I think it's. Is it Marked where he yells "Drop the fuck out"? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But
and it cut, like the power cut out like right before that part.
Oh shit!
And then like the power comes back, and he just no music, just yells "Drop the fuck out," and everything comes in. It was hard.
Yeah, man. I've been to that place a few times. Like if there wasn't a show in Detroit, man, the fucking Toledo shows were fun. I remember seeing like 100 Demons and like Since the Flood played somewhere.
Yeah, it was at
the basement.
Yeah, it was at the Underground. It was right underneath Club Bijou.
Yeah, that weird ass place outside the Mudhead Stadium.
It was 100 Demons, Since the Flood, Found Dead Hanging, and
Abby Martin Shot Me in the Head, I believe, played that too. My friend Corey's band. Yeah, they were like weird, like death metal.
Yeah, I remember Abby Martin for sure.
Okay.
There's one other band that I usually pride myself on knowing like who played what shows and stuff like that. I forget who played that. Who was the other big band that played that? But yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, fuck man, I remember.
We used to play. I used to be in a metal band called. I loosely will call it metal. It was like a metalcore band called The Machine Always Wins, and we would play the Underground. Like that was like the one spot that people would let us play.
Okay, yeah, because I think either that Vamps and something, and the other place are pretty much the only place I've ever been to besides Headliners. Oh,
right.
It's been Headliners. Were you there for that Unbroken Wings show there? I think it was Unbroken Wings, maybe.
Yeah,
was the Acacia Strain or
yeah, it was
Red
the
Cord?
Acacia Strain.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I was there, but I did not go into the show.
Another brawl.
No, yeah, there was. My girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, locked my keys in the car.
Oh no!
Right as we were getting ready to go in. So then we had to leave the show and walk to like there's that McDonald's right off Cherry Street.
Yeah.
Not a great area of town. And being relatively young and naive, we just started walking to that McDonald's so like my brother could come and bring us a pair set of my keys. But I remember the friend. You remember a kid named Jeremy Deal?
I remember the last name for sure.
He was a significant amount younger, but he was like the epitome of early 2000s scene kid, like super tight black jeans, like sagging down. Literally looked like if Bring Me the Horizon at the time was a person. But him and my wife walked to that McDonald's, and he was getting catcalled the whole time we was walking, and I'm like, dude, you're on your own, man. Like you're gonna have to make somebody dinner.
Yeah, some shit popped off. You know, those people are fucking strict inside there. We're like shooting dice in the corner, man. They wouldn't even let us like play dice, right? No, it's in a gambling spot. Like, what the fuck? Man?
Yeah, it's weird again. Like, I don't know. Knowing now as an adult, right, how venues operate and shit like that.
Yeah.
I probably would look at things differently, but as a kid who doesn't know any better, like I remember we played a show there one time with I want to say it was Crackjaw, but it wasn't Crackjaw. It was maybe it was Crackjaw.
I remember them too.
Trenchfoot. No, it's Trenchfoot.
Trenchfoot's from here, yeah.
Are they? Yeah, I knew they're from up here. Yeah,
like Southgate. I think they're just from like straight up Southgate.
It was like I'm not gonna say it was like one of their release shows, but for some reason that sounds familiar.
Yeah, they're like a weird like metalcore.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily that we fit that bill with them, but
totally different crowd.
At the time, this was probably 04 maybe. So this is like I drank at this time. And I remember getting all drunk in the parking lot and then going in there, but right before we played, and this was like the height of when like spinning the mic on the cord was cool, you know?
Yeah.
And I, throughout the set, I smashed 3 microphones, just being drunk, you know. I'd spin them, and there was like rafters that were pretty like, if I'm 6'1", right? So if I'm standing up, I could easily grab them.
Yeah.
And I was spinning, and it just smack on the roof, and I remember just like pieces of the microphones raining down, you know,
popping. And
it was a cool show because like I felt like Trenchfoot was, I don't want to say they were big, but like locally, people fucked with them.
They were popular around.
Yeah, especially with like during the scene time and stuff like that. And so it was a good turnout, you know. And then like at the end of the night, the guy was like, "Yo, I was gonna pay you guys, but you broke 3 mics. Like, I can't replace these mics and still pay you and not lose my ass on the show."
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, understand it. Like,
it's cool, bro.
I get it. I'm an idiot.
You're underage drinking. You're a mess.
Yeah, it was a terrible idea.
It's pretend that you were never here.
Right. Yeah. Just forget. Let's delete the flyer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, it's funny actually. One of the first times I ever met Rich too was down at Vamps, just sitting outside. It was actually on the 4th of July. I think Pale Horse was supposed to play.
No, sick.
Or they did play. Pale Horse, I believe. or was it? No, it wasn't the other Connecticut band. Yeah, for sure it was Pale Horse. I think they fucking canceled. Then another band played. I don't know if you remember that one. It was 05 or 06, but I remember just like sitting out there waiting for the doors to open. That's where I met fucking Rich.
Yeah.
I don't think any like face tattoo or like head tattoos or nothing.
He just looked normal.
Yeah. Just like, who's this guy? Skinny Rich, I think, before he even started lifting.
Probably wearing an ICP shirt.
yeah. That's one thing he had no shame in ever doing.
I love that.
Yeah, just wear like a Riddle Box shirt.
I remember growing up.
Fucking terror.
Yeah, it was hard. I'm not gonna say it was hard, but like you did not want to admit that you fucked with ICP.
Oh yeah.
You didn't want to admit that you listened to any of that stuff.
Like Taking Back Sunday. I'm not telling no.
Yeah.
Nobody.
But now it's like, I mean, I fuck with ICP. Like, I like it.
I listened to it well before hardcore.
Yeah, it's cool. I remember riding the bus with the Beverly Kills cassette tape and just listening to it and then hiding it in my sock drawer from my mom so she wouldn't take it from me. And it's trash. That tape is trash. It is so bad, like unlistenable bad.
Was it Beverly Kills 50187?
Yeah, whatever. I don't even know what the hell that means, but
cop kill or like cop murderer.
Oh, is it
like a 50?
Yeah.
Like 50,
okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. I just remember because my sister had it, and I was like, I was all about the fucking Riddle Box.
Yeah.
And I stopped listening after the Amazing Jekyll Brothers.
Yeah.
I think after that.
Yeah, I would say I was about the same. As soon as, because that was the last card, right?
Yeah. That was it, man.
So I didn't. I'm gonna sound like a liar because I know the shit, but like when like the Forgotten Freshness, I guess they were mixtapes or whatever.
Yeah.
When like the Forgotten Freshness came out, I never really cared for that. I was strictly like a card guy. You know what I mean? All the cards were good.
I'm the same way, dude. I didn't care for like a Tunnel of Love. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Or even like the Dog Beats. That was all before the cards.
Yep.
But
yeah, I definitely. I mean,
talk about ICP.
Great Malenko is a masterpiece.
It's my favorite.
You can't deny that.
I mean, if I open up my Spotify, that might be right there.
Yeah, mine's literally all kid music. It's it's literally Disney soundtracks and the Wiggles right now.
The Wiggles.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
My daughter is gonna be 5 in April 24th.
Nice.
Man. And my son just turned 1 in October.
I'm gonna take a drink. You're waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Who gives a fuck? So not like being in like a band, like, I mean, it's pretty serious. You're making an album, what's already done and everything.
Yeah.
How, the past few years, is it hard to like get to shows still, like, having kids? Because it is for me, because I can't go to shows like, during the week unless it's well worth it.
It would be if my wife wasn't terrific. You know what I mean? Like, she allows me to be able to travel.
Yeah.
And like, so like I'll go to Pennsylvania all the time if they're like to East Coast Tsunami Fest and stuff like that. And anytime there's really a good show out there, I'm able to go. I'm able to, I don't want to say come and go as I please, but you know, she's willing to work with me and let me go to every show.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
You know, and again, since we started this band, it's been the pandemic, so shit's been closed down. So how it's going to work with playing shows and stuff like that. The odds of my daughter at least coming to the shows is very high. You know,
Cool,
she's been to a few shows.
Awesome.
We used to get like really weird looks because she'd be like a newborn, you know.
Oh yeah.
We'd have like those big old headphones on her and stuff, you know. So and she'd sleep through the whole set. But I remember we went and seen. I'm trying to think of the time frame. It was in Brooklyn. We went to in Brooklyn, New York. Our friends in Citizen played. So we went down there because at the time I was living in upstate New York by Syracuse. So we drove down there in, I think it was like Citizen, Nothing, Culture Abuse. I think one other band played. But like we took my daughter there and we were getting dirty looks the whole time, you know. And then I remember Matt or Nick or somebody was like, hey, like, you know, shout out to our friends Camden and Brandy in the back. They brought their newborn daughter, and like it went from everybody giving us the dirtiest looks possible to like, oh my God, your kid's so cute. It's so cool that you guys came. And yeah, it got weird. But yeah, I'll take her to shows.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's fine with like the ear muffs and all that stuff, and you know, it's all ages. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, she went to Motor City Fest. I'm trying to think of what year it would have been. Or who played. No, it was the last one they had because I think Fire in the Blood played. They were from Altoona. And she watched them play and then left right after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was definitely in there for a little while.
That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
I've taken. Oh, my son's 13, but I've taken him. I'm not gonna lie. I went to, excuse me, a Kid Rock concert with him.
Yeah, I fuck with Kid Rock too.
It was dope. But also when Hatebreed did the 20 Years of Satisfaction with Dying Fetus and fucking Code Orange played.
Yeah.
I mean, he was there at that one. And we just hung out in the back.
Right.
That was at the Majestic, so there's like a little step up on the back. We're able to hang out back there.
Yeah, he's not worried about getting hit or anything.
No, but like, the whole time he's like, my stomach hurts. I was like, yeah, it is a little.
Yeah.
There's a weird energy there.
Yes.
Lots of weird people, and there's a fight like right in front of us. I'm like, this is.
Yeah, it's hard to like explain why like, that's happening.
It's just
it's hard to explain to an adult that doesn't know
why
that shit's happening, let alone explaining it to. How old was your son at the time?
10.
Yeah.
So, this was 2017, I think. So he was there, but it's funny because I still catch him listening to like Code Orange. Like he doesn't listen to Hatebreed or anything like that. Like he listens to like Post Malone and then Code Orange.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much the same thing.
Tattoos.
Yeah. They shit. What was I gonna say? I had something to say. I totally forgot what it was.
I don't know. It was about kids and hardcore shows, but I don't know. He has no interest anymore. Really, it seems like. I mean, I mentioned it here and there, but he's like, because I'd rather play Cold War.
Well, it sucks because like. You tend to rebel against what your parents like, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't want to like force things on them, but at the same time, it's like this is such a huge part of my life and has been since I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
Like I obviously want to pass it on to my kids, so I'm literally like, oh, I hope they want this. I hope they want this, but kind of being okay if they don't.
Yeah.
I started like I have this crazy. T-shirt collecting thing where I have like thousands of shirts and but ranging from sizes like youth large to 3X.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife gets so pissed about it because it's a lot of stuff
of space.
Yeah, and I understand it and everything, but my dream is that one day my kids are going to be into it and they'll be able to
all those fucking
to look at this and be like, okay, like can't believe like my dad's seen this band, that band, like and has all this stuff. The same way I wish that like my dad had like Bob Seger shirts and stuff like that, But
that's when my dad was into like Bob Seger and shit. Not really into any like heavy shit. Like the heaviest he would go is like Metallica.
Yeah.
But it's fine. He was not into fucking he didn't even playing like hardcore shit, like, even like Hatebreed. Like he looked at I remember buying, and my stepmom bought me Perseverance. Is that the album? It's called Perseverance? Yeah. And I think it had a parental advisory on it. So I fucking put my thumb over. I was like, so this is cool? She's like, yeah, whatever. I threw it in the car. I was like at like fucking Target or something.
Right.
And then my dad was like, yeah, look, I got a CD. I was in probably like 8th grade. And he fucking turned it over. He's like, A Call for Blood.
Yeah, not the most appropriate title.
Yeah, or like I Will Be Heard or Smash Your Enemies.
Right.
He's like, what is this? I was like,
yep.
Just listen to the words. Good lyrics.
Yeah. When I was a kid, not a kid, obviously, but like you remember Face Down Records and stuff like that when like that big like Christian hardcore movement was going on. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those, I fuck with a lot of those bands, like No Innocent Victim, Looking Forward.
Fuck yeah, man. Looking Forward's good.
In like Seventh Star, stuff like that. And like I would have these records and I'd like be sitting in my room listening to them, and my dad would come up and, do the like obvious, like, oh, this is devil music type stuff, And I'm like, nah, like it's actually, whatever you want to call it, Christian music or whatever, And so now even to this day, I'll be listening to something and he'll be like, what the hell is this, Christian music? And it's like, okay. Like now the joke's kind of old. It's been 20 years. And
beat down, Dad. What the fuck? But, shit. I wrote a few things down to talk about.
Sure.
It's like getting into hardcore. How old were you when you started going to shows? Like you have an older brother or just friends in school?
Yeah. Surprisingly, I'll say I don't. There's nobody that I went to high school with or anything like that is into hardcore or anything like that. Yeah. There's a couple kids that were like, nu metal was huge when I was in high school. So there was like people that I went to school with that were into that. Like I remember, I think his name was Taylor Frederick that I went to high school with. He gave me, he used to bring in cassette tapes and shit like that and give them to me. One of them was like, what's it called? Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat, the Slipknot EP or demo or whatever you want to call it. And then he gave me Kings of Crime, Scarhead tape. And it was like that on one side and something else on the other side. I forget what it was. But before that, like my older brother was big into skateboarding and punk music.
Yeah.
And then I had a cousin who was like, I don't know what you want to call him, a punk, I guess, for lack of a better word. He would come to like Christmas and stuff like that with, you know, I my family's very straight-laced, you know, and he would come to Christmas with like a blue mohawk with like Elmer's glue in it and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And like everybody would pick on him. And it's like his uncles and shit like that would give him a hard time. And to me, he was like the coolest guy in the world, you know. Everything, me and my older brother was probably into punk before, like, not before meeting him, because obviously he knew him his whole life, but before like the mohawk and stuff like that. But he would, excuse me.
You're fine.
We would bring our CD books over, and he would like go through our CD books and be like, that's good, that's trash. You listen to this. Oh, if you like this band, you'll like this band. But it was more punk.
Yeah.
And then his stepbrother was into like Cannibal Corpse and like music like that, or whatever you want to call it, metal. So through that, there was kind of like I was into new metal and punk. So it was kind of a natural progression.
Oh, yeah.
Right, to meet in the middle and you know, find something heavier than punk, but less corny than new metal.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
Well, it's weird how you find it. Like, because I remember sort of, it's like you're going through all this fucking music. I started in like, well, I heard like Hatebreed, but then like, because I think that was on an Ozfest, like a live compilation. It was like Hatebreed and like fucking Meshuggah and some other bullshit. You know?
Yeah.
And I remember it was like, I like Hatebreed, so I went and got that CD. But then I was listening like Fear Factory. Remember Fear Factory?
Oh yeah, love Fear Factory.
And I was actually creeping on your face or your fucking Instagram way, I don't know. It could have been 6, 8, 10 months ago, but you had Edge Crusher lyrics. I remember seeing that.
Literally the hardest lyrics.
So
I'm gonna say like definitely the hardest lyrics in like new metal, if you want to call it new metal, industrial metal, whatever subgenre you want to call it. Hard lyrics. That's on my list of covers.
Oh,
like
that'd be so fucking good.
It's if you haven't heard it, like now you obviously you heard it.
Yeah,
it's hard. The guitars, the lyrics, the vocals, the drums, everything is fucking great on it.
Especially the drums. Like that's like the first time I ever heard like I love fucking like double bass.
Yeah,
like, just crazy.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Like machine fast.
Yeah, like I was like, is this real, man? My friend Bobby Gibson, shout out to him. He showed me that band, but then he'd call me a fucking poser because I was like, I like Fear Factory. You know, so I went and bought like I think it was like demanufactured or something. It was like the deluxe edition. And I took it to school. He's like, why'd you buy it? I was like, I fucking like it. What do you want me to do?
Right.
You know, poser. That always pissed me. I was like, what's a poser? Because you found out before me.
Yeah.
You know.
You know that shit would piss me off in the. Not to change the subject, but like in the military, right? When I was in like my tech school, we'd get there and then there'd be somebody that got there 2 weeks before us that would start like talking shit to us and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, you're not better than us. You're nothing. You just signed a piece of paper 2 weeks before I did.
Yeah, man.
Like literally there's no other, but yeah, it's the same thing with music, the gatekeepers and stuff like that, where it's like, you know, who are you to say that I'm a poser because I just started listening to a band.
Yeah, you seen fucking Slipknot on MTV2 before me.
Right.
The box, remember the box?
Yep.
Yeah. So but that always pissed me off because I was never, like the like cool guy, out of like the fucking weirdos in school. So I was always like the last one to find out about music. But then like nobody knew about like hardcore music. And then I started seeing people like at shows.
Yeah.
Like months or like years after I started going, I'm like, fucking poser now.
Yeah.
And I was like, time to get popped.
It's funny.
Don't stand too close to the pit, bitch. I got you.
Yeah. I remember being like, so I was always like too jock for like the scene kids.
Oh,
and somewhat too scene for like the jock kids,
Mhm.
you know. Not so much in school because I played every sport I could play, you know. But I remember like driving to like to Buffalo Wild Wings or Jed's in Toledo is what it was, with a couple friends, and I was driving, you know, so I'm listening to my music, and this is when like Suicide Notes and Butterfly Kisses by Atreyu came out.
Fuck yeah.
Great fucking record.
So good. Don't tell no one.
Yeah, I do. I'll scream it from the rooftops. That album rips. And but I remember listening to that when I'm driving, and everybody's like, "Yo, what the fuck is this? Like, this shit is awful." And I'm like, you know, sure, like you don't understand, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, and then nobody I ever went to school with ever. My graduating class was 84 people or something like that.
Oh shit.
So like, it's not hard to believe that, you know, nobody I went to school with was really into hardcore or anything like that. But I can, you know, through like weird ways, credit getting into hardcore and stuff like that, as much as I am now, like going to shows and shit like that, through a kid I went to high school with, because he was in a band. You remember the band Strength and Honor?
Yeah.
All right, so you know Billy and Corey?
Yeah.
The drummer and singer. Rest in peace, Corey.
Corey, yeah.
But they played in a band
Snake
called...
was his nickname.
Yeah,
Snake.
Snake.
Yeah.
They played in a band with a kid I went to high school with. His name's Travis Matheny, who's in a band out of Buffalo now called Quit Your Life or something like that. It's like an emo band. It's good.
Okay.
They just put out a record,
Okay, cool.
so shout out Travis. But he played guitar in a band with them called Point to Rise, and they played a show with a band from St. Louis called Calico Systems.
Yeah, I know them.
And we went down there to see them, and I met Billy and Corey through him, and then became great friends with them. So I guess, you know what I mean? Like, it, you know, through a weird way.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for us going to see that band play.
Yeah. I remember the first time I fucking met. Well, I knew who Strength and Honor was, but there was a show. You ever been to the Grotto? I'm sure you've been there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we played the Grotto a few times.
Okay, yeah. It was fucking Barricade, Strength and Honor.
Okay, yep.
And CDC, I think.
Yeah, I remember that.
And there's one of the, like, I knew Mickey and maybe Billy a little bit. But
Yeah.
That's like one of the first shows I ever got like fucking wasted at. Like I drank, but
Sure.
I never drank at shows. I was always
Sure.
like, uncomfortable. I was like, I'm gonna get fucked up at this show. And I remember Billy was already of age. So I was 18 or 19. And we got like a couple 40s of fucking beast dice. I got hammered, and dude. And by time, like, I think there was only like 4 bands that night. But like Strength and Honor was probably second. Dude,
Yeah.
I was already fucked up. And there's a fight that happened at that show. My friend Danny got beat up by fucking Pat from St. Louis.
I believe I was at that show as well.
Yeah.
I believe actually the video of that is on YouTube.
Yeah. Did you know Pat? Just knew who he was a little bit.
I would, if I seen a picture of him, I might know
Patty
who he
Scumbag.
is.
That was his name.
Okay, yeah. I know the nickname for sure.
Uh-huh.
What's funny about that is like, again, rest in peace, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
After that happened, right, he gets thrown on the floor.
Yeah.
There's a kid that pulls him up and like helps him wearing flip flops. His name's Ed Smith. He was the
in
bass.
Battle Array, by the way, is who played that
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
He played bass in that Point to Rise band with Billy and Corey.
Okay.
That I seen. We used to call him Drunken Eddie because like no matter what you do, and even at that show he was out of his fucking gourd, and but he would wear flip flops and he'd lose his flip flops trying to mosh, and like it was just weird. But yeah, he picks Danny up off the ground
yeah, man, I've seen that video. I haven't watched it in a long time, but it's out there. So you knew Danny or no? Like a little bit.
I wouldn't say we're friends or anything like that, but like I knew him through Mickey.
Yeah. Fucking Mickey's such a good guy too, man.
Yep.
Every time I see him, I give him a hug.
Yeah.
I love him.
I haven't seen him in a while, but
I seen him fucking Knocked Loose when they played at St. Andrews with fucking Rotting Out.
Yeah.
I seen him on the balcony and just waved. You pussy.
Yeah, he used to play in that.
Fucking sweating.
That I think last time I seen him, he used to play guitar in that band, and he probably still does. NRR out of Toledo. And my older brother sang in a band called Professor, and they played together.
No shit.
At Frankie's in Toledo.
Never been there.
It's great.
Yeah.
I did security there for a while, so I'm a little biased. Like I think it's a great venue.
Sure. You got a stage, no stage, it doesn't matter.
It's cool. There's been some cool shows there, but yeah, that's like the I'll say it's the Toledo venue right now.
Okay. Is that where Year of the Knife was going to play? Because they were supposed to play there just before the shit happened last. It's fucking Year of the Knife. And,
Oh no.
and somebody, another fucking band.
If I'm not mistaken, because I think that was at the Ottawa Tavern, the OT. Because it's a
that could have been the
because
name.
I remember the show might have happened,
Oh,
the
okay.
one that I'm thinking of, but I remember it being, I think, You're the Knife, maybe Never Ending Game.
Yeah.
In I think that was supposed to be at the Ottawa Tavern, which is, I might be being generous here, the size of the basement.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool there.
Yeah, so that show did happen then?
No,
Or
I don't know.
Maybe.
I didn't go.
Because I remember being so excited because I see
Yeah.
Never Ending Game, for every fucking 2 weeks.
Right.
But with A Year of the Knife, they came with like Terror, and I didn't know who they were till like they came.
Sick band.
Oh, that band's fun. YODK. I was
Yeah.
like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this
Great
shit?
band.
Yeah, and my brother-in-law got hit in the nose with that show. He's I said this a couple times, but he'll be 30 or just turned 30. But he didn't start getting into shows until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, 3 now because the pandemic
Sure.
doesn't count. He's fucking way down your way.
Right.
But I mean, I was just watching like some like Hate 5-6 video on like a holiday, like on my big screen.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "What are you watching?" It was Blood for Blood when they did This Is Hardcore.
Yeah.
But I like that shit. I was like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
it's
And then you
fucking
take
good.
him, and of course he gets blasted right in the face for a show or whatever.
Well, no, because we had went to Terror came with a Backtrack and Harm's Way
Okay.
at
Yeah.
the Sanctuary. Then Terror came again, like I don't know, for 3, 4, 5 months later.
Yeah.
Who knows? And
So let me ask you this though:
It's blasted.
him getting hit in the face, right?
Yeah.
Did that make him go away or make him steer into it more?
steered into it.
Yeah.
I told him because like he's like, I think I was targeted. I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
But because maybe they don't know who you are, they've never seen you before.
Right.
Maybe you're not standing correctly.
Yeah. I mean,
Shit happens.
crazier things have happened.
Yeah. Maybe looked at somebody for too long. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Right.
I didn't see it happen.
And it also is like every time you get hit, no matter what, you feel like, man, that guy tried to hit me. Like that was not an accident.
Yeah. I know. It's
I remember
hard.
one of my old bands played with Madball in North Carolina, in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I was like stoked, because obviously Madball is fucking, the GOAT or whatever you want to call it. And it was like my band, Reign Supreme, a band called Call to Preserve. Good band.
Yeah.
And I was stoked. I love Reign Supreme. I love Call to Preserve. Love Madball. So I was like stoked. And I think that band Patriot. I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're like an old,
I don't think
like
so.
an old skinhead band.
Okay.
Good band. But it was during like the first song of like Call to Preserve set. I got punched in the eye, and I'm like, but it was one of those punches where like you're done.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can't do shit. Your eyes all water and you can't see nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and I wear contacts. Like without my contacts, I can't see shit. And like my contact fell out, so I'm like, dude, now I got to sit here like with one eye closed, trying to watch Madball play, and I'm like, this sucks. But yeah, I definitely was like, fuck, I got targeted. Who was it?
That's funny you say that because last time Madball was here, they played at the Magic Stick.
Yeah.
I got hit hard as fuck, and there's like 50 people at the show. There wasn't a lot of people.
Right.
I was the only one standing by the stage, and just a whoop.
Yeah, it's hard to not feel
I'm
targeted.
like, that was on purpose. And like a big giant guy like you, I'm not that small, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I know shit happens. I've done it to
Right.
thousands of people.
Yep.
And I'm like, that was fucked up because I'm just sitting here, trying to have a good time and not.
Yeah, it'll ruin your night for sure.
Yeah, I was fucking mad, and I felt like, and I kept looking back. Like I was like, is he staring at me? Like, what the fuck?
Right.
I'm mad.
Yeah. Yep.
And I just don't want no confrontation. That's the last thing I want.
Right.
But
yeah, you always feel like it's on purpose when it happens,
well,
and then you find out who it was or whatever, and they're like, oh, my bad. And it's like, all right.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Well, because when you see them standing by the group of friends and they just come fucking like a bat out of hell and start whacking people, you're like, oh shit. And there's kids standing by me too. Like this guy, he had his 2 daughters, maybe 5 and 7, and they were standing there, and I didn't know. I seen them coming, but they were standing to the left of me, and I just fucking took the hit.
Yeah.
There's 5-year-old.
Yeah, better
right
you
next
than
to me,
them
dude.
for sure.
Yeah. And then there's idiots jumping off the stage. There's kids
Yeah.
right the fuck here. And even even Freddie, like some guy like jumped off the stage like right by the kids, and he's staring at him like, what the fuck?
Sure.
And I was like, woo, I was like, don't piss off Freddie.
Yeah, I remember I did like the European tour with Annie Up.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we were in France. I think it was like the Super Bowl Hardcore or whatever it was. And we were on tour with Life Betrays Us from London.
Yeah.
Sick band. Great fucking underrated band. I'll put it this way, right? Like I feel like I'm kind of old, right? I don't mosh a lot. They made me mosh. They're that good. And I remember like shit, you know, Life Betrays Us played, and then I think a band called Surge of Fury played I think after them, in between them and Annie Up. And so after Life Betrays Us played, I went, you know, to check on the merch table or whatever, and some like I'm assuming French, I don't really know, woman came up and like tapped me on the shoulder, and I was like, what's up or whatever. She's like, I owe you one punch to the face. And I was like, what are you talking about? You know, she's like, you punched me in the face during that set. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I truly am sorry. Like, I didn't mean to. I was like, if you want to punch me in the face, you can go ahead. But like, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't take back what happened.
Yeah, it
like,
happened, yeah.
You know, I didn't mean to do it, but sure, you can hit me if it makes you feel better.
Mosh or be moshed.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, I'm like, bitch, you ain't moshing, you might get hit. No. You know, most of the time, it's never, you never want to hit a woman.
Sure.
But it happens. I've seen plenty of fucking girls get smoked. Like, god damn.
Yeah,
like,
it sucks.
He's got like their nose like blown out. Like a 16-year-old girl gets hit by like a 35-year-old man. Like, god damn.
Well, and the same thing when that happens, you typically, you know, like I was saying, you automatically assume that you're targeted.
Yeah.
So now because I'm trying to think of what band was playing, but it was a couple years ago where somebody was stage diving with Doc Marten boots or combat boots or something, and hit a girl in the head and like busted her shit all up. And it was like a big, like the band took a big hit from it, I think. But it's like, it was an accident. Like the dude didn't jump off being like, at least I don't think, I'm not going to speak for him or whatever, but I would assume, assume that he's a decent enough person that he didn't jump off, you know, feet first and drop kick this girl in the face. He just had, you know, wrong place, wrong time. And it happened.
Yeah. Dude. I mean, I've almost been fucking knocked out by feet.
Sure.
People jumping off the stage. Once again, back of that, a Terror and Harm's Way show, dude. Someone jumped off the fucking stage. They were doing like flips into the crowd.
Right.
But it was just boom right on top of my head. Like I was like seeing like light, and I couldn't see. I was like, fuck, dude, I almost got knocked out. I almost got like dropped.
Yeah. It's a bummer, man.
And then I just sit there and like shake it off and just like, fuck, man, let's stand to the side and get back into it. But
yeah, and you don't recover quite as much as you did, or quite as quick as you did when you was young.
You're like, is anybody looking, dude? You know?
Yeah. You don't want to be that guy that falls.
Just like a fat idiot that falls over. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we that I was talking to you about it before, that Sand Annie Up Next Step Up run.
Yeah.
It was a show in either Cleveland, I think it was in Columbus, but Next Step Up was playing, and my friend Chris Hensel, who sings in Mushmouth, Out to Win, during Next Step Up, man, I seen him get rocked harder than I've seen a lot of people get hit. And I'm like, as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh shit. But he just ate it, like stood there, and I'm like, oh my God, like any lesser man would have been out cold, and he just took it in stride.
Fuck. Have you ever seen that one when Shattered Realm played This Is Hardcore? It's a Hate 5-6 video. Did you ever see that whole set? Did you ever watch it by any chance?
You know, I'm going to say that I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched a little bit of all of them, and usually like one song in or two songs in, I'm like, okay, let's keep it moving.
There, I don't care.
Yeah.
No, well, there's, I don't know what song it is. I couldn't tell you, but there's a part where everyone's like, he's like piling on, and there's this dude standing on stage, like a black dude, like dreads, and he's just like punching the crowd, and this guy's like standing off to the side. He fucking punched him so hard right in his face, hard as fuck. He's holding his jaw, and it must have been like one of Joe's friends.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe's friends, because he's like, like he laughed at him. He's like, nobody's safe here.
Yeah.
And he's like holding his jaw. He's all stunned and shit. And the dude just hopped off the stage like, my bad.
Right. Right.
In the moment, shit. But that dude got fucking revenge, on everybody standing.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
He was so mad, and like Joe's singing and laughing, getting everybody riled up, loving it. And but even And that same fucking video, somebody's like moshing like on the stage and kicks Joe right in his head as he's singing. And he's like, "See, I said no one's safe." He's holding his face all fucked up.
Yeah, nobody is safe.
Good times. So, what were you saying? You were in the military?
Yeah.
What? You were in North Carolina, so...
Yeah, so I joined the military in 2000... I probably joined in 2006, didn't leave until 2007. It was like 2 days after my 21st birthday.
So you're only in a year?
What's that?
Was it 2006 or 2007?
Yeah, no. Either 2006 or 2007.
Okay,
I know I
when
left.
Joined. I was like,
yeah,
you only there for 1 year?
No, I know I left here to go to basic in 2007.
Oh, okay.
But I probably, not that it matters, but I probably signed up in 2006 and just waited in like what's called the delayed entry program. So yeah, I went from there, basic training Texas, schooling in Mississippi, and then immediately went to North Carolina. And at the time I was bummed, like super bummed about it. Didn't want to go to North Carolina. Everybody that I was friends with in my class went to like, I think North Dakota or something like that. So of course I was like, dude, I want to go to North Carolina or North Dakota. I want to stay with my friends, blah, 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 blah. Going to North Carolina was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say ever in my life, but like as far as a career goes and as far as like, I'll say as far as like hardcore goes, the best thing that ever happened to me.
Nice, man.
You know, because I mean, if I go to North Dakota, even though I'm with my friends who have nothing to do with the music scene or anything like that, I don't know North Dakota hardcore. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sure there's got to be.
Yeah.
You know, in Sioux Falls, I think was that Nodes of Ronvier or whatever might be from Sioux Falls. I don't know. I'm speaking out of pocket. I don't know where they're from, but there's not like a big scene down there. And at the time, I didn't think there was a big scene in North Carolina either. I was wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
Huge scene. Yeah. Well, because if you think about it, right, like for shows in Michigan has to either be the destination or they have to go out of their way because there's no highways that go through Michigan.
Yeah, you
right?
got to go up.
Yeah,
and out
surrounded
of the
by lakes.
Yeah.
So you got to go. It's what, an hour from Toledo to Detroit.
Yeah, so maybe you're on the turnpike. That's about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So to play Detroit, you have to get, take a detour to get there. North Carolina, you don't. If you're going from anywhere up on the East Coast, right? You're a New York hardcore band, and you're playing a fest or anything in Florida. You, at the time, at least when I first moved down there, there was no, I won't say no, there's very few bands that would play one-offs like that. So they drive down and they book like a weekend or 5-day tour around it. And North Carolina's on the way.
Yeah.
So every band that would do that would play a show in North Carolina. So there was always, every week, there's probably like at least 2 shows a week.
Fuck, that's good.
Yeah, it was great.
Especially in like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Fuck, like, I was sort of, well, I was still pretty heavy into it, but I never traveled for like shows. You know? I mean, like, the furthest I would go is like fucking Toledo or like Cleveland or something, But I always wanted to go to like Pennsylvania. Always has the best fucking shows. It seems
100% best shows.
Like I'm like jealous of like PAHC. Like I envy it. Like I'll be honest.
It's
terrific. They got the best fucking scene in my opinion.
And what's crazy about that is there's like Michigan, right? You have Detroit hardcore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even you have
say that.
Right. You have a couple bands maybe in Grand Rapids. Was that Bitter Truth in Grand Rapids at Sick? And Detain, I believe, was a Grand Rapids band.
They were. Will, shout out.
Yeah. And but for the most part, it is Detroit. If a band tours, they play Detroit. But you look at Pennsylvania, you got Philly, you got Pittsburgh, you got Wilkes-Barre, you got Scranton. You have everything. You have Reading. Yeah. Shout out Club Reverb. So there's literally like you could do a small weekend and never leave the state and play to different kids every single night. And I don't know. I mean, how many states can say that? Maybe Texas, California.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're not as fucking like you have to like drive 18 hours. Here you're going 2, 3, 5 hours at the most, from fucking whatever, like Wilkes-Barre to like Philly. That's probably the most opposite, right? Or like Erie, maybe. I don't know. Yeah,
Erie. Again, I'm pretty fucked up with geography, but Erie's like the west side of the state.
Okay. Yeah. So Philly, but yeah. Like I was like jealous. Like I'm like fuck all the good shows. Like it's East Coast Tsunami Fest there.
Yep. Yeah. Reading.
Yeah. That and This Is Hardcore and the Back to School Jam and
that's in Jersey, but
shit, yeah.
It's still like the Philly area is, I don't know what they call it, but it's like the tri-state area
where Delaware,
you got, New Jersey, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all touching each other, and you have all those bands right there.
Fuck,
it's something.
Yeah, and it's not that far. Like you're like
it's an easy drive
to Philly, or so. You know,
yeah. I'd rather make that drive, and I made that drive several times by myself. You know,
oh yeah.
But it's. I mean, it sucks. The drive sucks. I'm a
truck driver, so
right. Yeah, you'll be okay with it. I remember one time me and Matt West.
Yeah.
Me and Matt West went there. It had to have been a Tsunami Fest, but we drove there. At the time, I was in between jobs. I just got out of the military, and I hadn't started working in New York yet. So I had probably I'm not gonna say I didn't have a penny to my name because I had a jar of change, but all I had was this jar of change.
Yeah.
And me and Matt West drove there to the show, and on the way home, we barely had enough money for gas. So we had to avoid the tolls because I think it was like $26 in tolls on the way there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm not spending $26 in tolls.
Out of the way.
Man, not going toll roads was the worst idea we ever had in our lives. We pulled over in 3 different rest stops and got spooked where we're like, we're gonna get raped.
Your little Matt's gonna get raped.
Yeah, I'm gonna push him out. I'm gonna push him out of the car. But yeah, man, I remember trying to sleep and he'd either wake me up or I'd wake him up and be like, dude, we gotta go. This is weird. Like a truck would pull into the rest stop. There's no, let's say 100 parking spots that are completely empty, and the truck would pull right up either next to us or face to face with us. And it's no, we're leaving now.
Yeah. Fucking weird ass truck.
But yeah, it's weird because it took us probably 3 hours out of the way. Honestly, I added 3 hours onto our trip. Not worth it at all because we probably spent way more than that in gas.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, it was fun. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's me and Matt can always laugh about it.
Fuck yeah.
But if we would have went straight through, it would have just been whatever.
Yeah.
It was a fun drive.
Yeah. Save time.
Yeah.
Spend some money, whatever.
Right.
But the first, for last year, 2020 is the first time I was gonna go an out of state show. I was gonna go to This Is Hardcore, man.
Right.
And obviously didn't happen. But I had I'd booked an Airbnb in February. So I don't even know who's fucking playing. But I was I booked a rental car. I was I'm not gonna be stuck without a rental or somewhere to stay because I don't know how it is if Philly fills up. I know it's 1,000, maybe 2,000 people there, but still not a places locally that can get fucking filled up.
Yeah.
And I was gonna go. Me and my brother-in-law. I was like, this is a motherfucking hardcore show, dude. So we're going to the Heartland. I don't know what you want to call it, but we're gonna go and you heard Joe talking on Post America about it too. I was getting all excited. I even asked a question. How they'll put out we got this guest coming on, ask a question or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got 2 questions. I was like, what's the weed policy? And where's the best cheesesteak?
Right.
And he said, there is no weed policy. And then he said, whatever fucking cheesesteak place. I asked him again when he did my shit.
Yeah.
I don't fucking, it was something, roast pork. You ever had a good one?
I don't know. A good cheesesteak or a good? Yeah.
You're from Philly?
Yeah. I don't know what is technically a good one, right? But I mean, I've had what I think is good. Yeah, exactly.
But you think it's going to be different in Philly. It's going to be real special.
Yeah, I've definitely had cheesesteaks in Philly. That's one of my favorite things. I'm going to say next to traveling for hardcore is traveling for food. I love traveling for food. It's literally my favorite thing. I'll sit there and I'll research before I go. I won't even look at the flyer really. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to this show. Let me get on Google and start finding what food places I want to eat at.
Yeah. Don't you have a little Instagram? What is it called?
Yeah, faster than the food.
Faster than the world. But food, that's awesome.
Yeah, they.
No, I love it. Because I mean, obviously I looked at that. I was like, fuck, man, there's been a lot of places. All this delicious food. I seen you had a Eureka Eatery on there.
Oh, the best gas station chicken you'll ever have. It's crazy because I seen that place and I'm like, yo, this place looks so fucking good. Like everything about it looks good. Their Instagram, there's an Instagram I follow called Chow Detroit or something like that.
Okay.
It's like it's cool. You know what I mean? Like they post all kinds of food, and I'll get into something about that in a second. But like they post stuff about Eureka all the time. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, this place looks good. Like where is that? Where is that? Where is that? It's in Monroe, Michigan, which is 10 minutes from my parents' house, and it's like a place my wife went to Monroe High School. So I'm very familiar with the Monroe area. You know, we used to play shows. I played with Let It Die in Monroe, the Alliance in Monroe. No, not the Alliance, the Swellers we played with in Monroe. I think Fireworks as well. But anyway, so I'm like, where the hell is this place? You know, and it's at this weird gas station. That like it literally, like if you look at just the Instagram account, it looks like a super nice restaurant. Yeah. And then you go in there, and it's a gas station, and it's there's one wall with like wood on the wall that they take all their pictures in front of, which is sick. You know what I mean? Like it's great marketing. You know. Oh yeah. But terrific, great chicken sandwich. Everything about it was spectacular.
Yeah, because like out of nowhere, like like a Nashville hot chicken sandwich blew up, and I'm glad they did. Right. I knew what it was. I was like, spicy chicken, I'm cool with that. But like they're all over the place, and everyone's talking about Nashville hot chicken. But there's so you're not from downriver, but there's one in Redford. I think. Have you heard of Fat Daddy's yet? It's in Riverview off 4th Street.
I want to say no. I think I'm thinking of Bad Daddies.
Okay, no, this one's called Fat Daddies. Yeah. It's just a little, you know, it's in Riverview, so it's not like a shitty area. But like, it's hard. I have to have Eureka Eatery again to like determine what's the best chicken sandwich. Yep. Because
it's like that. What is it? Chick-fil-A Popeyes debate. You know?
Yeah. But this. Let's say no fucking fast food.
Which it's Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is better.
I do like Chick-fil-A. I've only had it like recently because you know there's one in Allen Park. So.
Yeah, they just built that one on Hall Road too.
Okay.
Up north, it's right by where I work.
Yeah, well, I've never had it till like last year or whatever. Yeah. The fucking lines are still insane. Like they got like 2 drive-through lines. You got to wait 40 minutes.
But I always say like I would rather wait in line at Chick-fil-A for behind 30 cars than McDonald's behind 2.
Oh, McDonald's fucking horseshit, dude.
But one of the big things that like bums me out about most like the food Instagram accounts and stuff like that is most of the time they're like, I want to say stock pictures, but they're pictures that somebody else took. Like they don't eat that food. You know what I mean? Like I eat that food. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like literally everything I post or whatever, I eat that shit.
Yeah. You take that picture, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you go to like your search on Instagram, like that's all mine is. It's just fucking pizza and like pasta and shit and like fried like shit. I'm like, man, this is not healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine's literally a walking contradiction, right? It's junk food and workout stuff. It's like there's no in between the two.
Yeah, mine's like a UFC knockouts and food. That's it. You know.
Yep.
I watch a little bit of UFC, but that's all I see is the fucking fried food and UFC.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a bad combination.
No. Oh shit. I don't need more water. That's okay. I'm grabbing water.
Yeah.
Oh, just set my clothes there. Whatever. I'll cut it out. Actually, might have to run upstairs and have water. You need anything? You're good?
No. Yeah, I'm good, man.
Okay. My fat dog down here. Fat dog. Let's see where we're at too. Right about. We don't know 15, 20 minutes.
Cool.
Or so, whatever. I don't even know what we got to talk about. What do we got to talk about? When I write down some bullshit. Yeah, because I had like questions about like from like North Carolina. I was like, is he from there? Because I didn't know. Yeah. But like, just like the difference in like hardcore scenes. Because you were gone for quite a while. When you left like this area, shit was still kind of like seemed like crazy and violent. Like my opinion.
Yeah.
Was it like that in North Carolina?
No, because I remember. It's funny because like you always kind of look back with rose-colored glasses, right? I remember leaving Michigan and going to like a show in North Carolina. One of the first shows I went to in North Carolina. Looking back on it, it was sick. I don't remember the lineup or whatever. I want to say it was probably either Nourish the Flame or Choose Your Weapon. Shout out Mike and a band called Death Blow.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And a couple other bands, but it was at this place called, I forget what the fucking venue was called. HP Imports, I think is what it was called. It was like, it was a junkyard. So it was looking back on it, it was an awesome venue, man. It was like literally they had like pit bulls like chained up to like engine blocks
Holy shit.
in the yard, and like everybody would park, and I'd say 80% of the show was outside. Like the garage that the bands would play in, it had 2 garage doors that would open up, and then the band would play in the garage, and you'd have like a few kids in the garage, but most of the people were outside of the garage watching it. And it was weird. But again, looking back on it, I was like, yo, that venue is sick.
Yeah.
It closed down pretty quick. But yeah, I remember going to the shows like that and being like, this ain't it. You know what I mean? Like the bands are sick, but like mosh seemed weak, you know, like there wasn't a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, Detroit hardcore this, Detroit hardcore that, you know? And then it's like now after living there and like seeing like Wilder shows and stuff like that, and then moving. So I moved to New York after North Carolina, and going to shows there, or even like coming home and going to shows here. I was like, damn, like I remember that shit being way harder than it is. Like,
yeah,
North Carolina actually is pretty like the mosh, like everything. It was pretty
nice.
It got pretty wild, and then you know you continue to go to shows and you're like, actually, this is pretty fucking cool here now. So it's kind of like everywhere you look back with rose-colored glasses on how good it was.
Yeah, but you know, like, and I mean, hardcore show is a hardcore show.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of just like fall into it, I would assume, because like, so you were in Albany, you said, or
no, just north of Syracuse.
Okay, Syracuse.
Yeah, in
so,
Watertown.
Well, it was pretty crazy up there too.
Yeah.
So it was all pretty similar.
So,
like, like you hear. Like Syracuse, is that where fucking the Earth Crisis?
Yep.
Yeah.
Earth Crisis.
Yeah, so I think that's like a 6 scene.
You know, I can say that
Northeast.
I owe pretty much everything in my life to hardcore, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say been forced to move through my work. I lived here. I lived in Toledo for a while, North Carolina, New York, then back here. I've been able to make friends everywhere I go through hardcore, you know?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
So going up to Syracuse, I literally didn't know anybody. You know, I moved to this place, Watertown. Like I said, it's about probably 50 minutes north of Syracuse, in the middle of fucking nowhere. There's trees. So I met Chris Smith, who plays drums in Mushmouth now. Great guy. Carried by Six. He plays drums in Carried by Six.
Yeah, that band's fucking
hard
as shit,
hard
dude. Hell yeah. And they're supposed to play.
Yeah. I think they're supposed to play This Is Hardcore this year. Oh, and Motor City Fest, they're supposed to play this year. They will. I can. I promise they will play.
All right.
They will play Detroit, whether they want to or not. I'm going out to Vegas next weekend with Kyle, their guitar player.
Nice. I was there last week.
Were you really?
Yeah.
It's pretty sick?
Yeah, it's fucking popping, man. It's back to being Vegas.
Good. Yeah. But so I remember talking to him a little bit, met in like Syracuse Hardcore Facebook page or some shit like that. But Poison Tongues, shout out Lenny and Justin and all those guys, Jim Davey, they played a show in Syracuse probably like, I don't know, man, 2-3 weeks after I moved there. And it was like the best thing that could have happened, right? Like, I'd never been to a show. My first show I'm going to, I know people. It's people from home that are coming.
Yeah.
So I'm all excited. It's at this place called The Warehouse. Shitty fucking venue. It's literally a warehouse. There's like couches, like old couches, like, you know how like at, let's say Alvin's, right? Or the place at Motor City Fest was that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
There's like those like level changes on the side that kind of keep everything centered.
Yeah.
There were couches that like framed the pit.
Oh shit.
So like people would like stand on the couches and stuff like that. And there was a vert ramp behind them. And people would like randomly be skateboarding and stuff like that. And the stage was probably like, I'm probably over exaggerating this, but like shoulder height on me. It was a huge stage in this weird ass place. And Poison Tongues played what's the Bitter Peace AD, Justin's other band with like
John was in it.
John was in it. TJ was in it.
Josh, that doesn't.
Yeah, Josh sang for him. But great band.
Oh fuck.
Great band. I don't know who the other bands were that played that, but I know those two played, and there was like 4 kids there. And it was weird, and I'm like, damn, Syracuse is whack. Like no, like how do you have a show with bands that tour? Like, was it not promoted? What was the deal? Like, it was whack. And I felt bad because like this is where I live now, and I have like my friends coming from here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you always want, when you live somewhere else, yeah, you always want people to go off for your friend's band. Mm-hmm. Like when I was in North Carolina and bands would come down, I would always want people to fucking go off for them. Because it's like, yo, these are my fucking guys. This is where I live now. But it was embarrassing. Nobody was there. Nobody fucking moshed. It was awful. And then like the next week, I think Lionheart played at a different venue though.
Yeah.
I remember going there and it was like packed.
Oh, shit.
So I'm like talking to Chris Smith about it, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on? Like, I went and seen Poison Tongues last week or whatever, and there was 4 kids there. Like, and this is packed. Like, what? Why was nobody there? And he's like, well, the dude that promoted it's whack. Like, nobody supports that kid. Blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I get it. And it turns out Syracuse had a pretty dope scene.
Nice,
like, man. Once you actually get into the meat and potatoes of it.
Yeah. Like that'd be fucking nerve wracking though. Like from Detroit, Toledo area, and then you're moving to like North Carolina. Did you take like your military friends to shows, or did you already have friends that, like?
No, so
there showing up to a show, not knowing a single fucking person.
Yeah, I definitely went to a couple shows by myself. I remember bringing a guy that I worked with. I didn't work with anybody at the time that was even knew what hardcore was, you know. And I remember taking this guy with me to a show. I think you remember that band Life Ruiner.
Yeah.
Life Ruiner played.
Were they from around here?
They were from Canada.
Okay.
I don't know where in Canada, Toronto area maybe. But they used to play here all the time.
Okay.
But they played in it was just, there was a show. You know what I mean? So no matter what, when you don't know anybody, at the time I didn't know anybody in North Carolina. So I remember asking this random guy that I worked with that didn't know anything about hardcore to come with me to the show. I like burnt him the Life Ruiner CD or whatever. And I was like, yo, like, take a look if you want to come see these guys with me. And he's like, yeah, I'll go. He was like 35 years old or some shit like that. He tried to bum a cigarette off like a 13-year-old kid, and the 13-year-old kid asked him for his ID. Yeah, I fucked with that guy every day after that. But I would go to shows by myself. And then I remember going to, you know where Eastern Carolina? It's in Greenville, North Carolina. No. It's like, I don't know, it's a D1 school. I don't know what conference it is or anything like that. But we went, one of the guys that I went to basic training with in tech school or whatever was stationed with me, and he was from Jacksonville, North Carolina. So he was like, yo, I'm going to meet some of my friends that go to ECU and go to a party or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go with you, you know. I think I had on like, I think it was a Force of Change sweatshirt or something like that, and I think I had a Terror t-shirt on. And this girl that was there with the people that we were all together, you know, and she was like, oh, Terror, like, I like your shirt, you know. And I was like, oh, cool, like, at least somebody, you know, around here knows something about hardcore, you know.
Right.
And then I remember she added me on MySpace, and of course, like, doing what you do, I didn't know anybody, so I'm like, fuck, I gotta, you know. So I was like looking on her friends list, you know, because like she was dating a guy, I think she was dating him, or maybe they had just broken up, Joey Edge, and still to this day, a good friend of mine. But I remember like adding him on MySpace, and we connected through that, and then went to shows with him, got introduced to different people through that, and it was literally it was a show. I remember a show at HP Imports. We were I don't know who was playing, but I was moshing, and all of a sudden, like, this fucking arm comes through the crowd and grabs me and pulls me out of the crowd. And I'm like, fuck, like, I don't know anybody here. Like, this is going to be weird. It was Mike Leday, one of my best friends in the world right now, who's, I don't know, older than me. He used to sing in Nourish the Flame, Choose Your Weapon. Okay. He sings in Bushido Code now.
Oh, shit, yeah. That band's fucking
sick.
They just have a new album.
Yeah, so their album comes out the 16th of April. Okay. Check that out.
Yeah.
And but they just dropped a single.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago, Harvest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fucking sick.
Yeah, great band. Yeah, I heard if you're into thrash metal and all that stuff, great fucking release.
I like that shit.
But he was like, as soon as he grabbed me, he's like, "Oh, who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, like fuck, you know, he's a big dude, covered in tattoos, head to toe, you know." And I'm like, "Oh," like introduce myself to him, and we started talking. Man, me and him like pretty much said fuck the show. We went and sat in his truck the rest of the night, like talking. And he's like showing me his music and stuff like that.
That's fucking cool.
He's like, yo, I sing in Nurse the Flame. And at the time, like right before we left, I sang in that band Chapel, and we played a show in Toledo with Fight Like Hell, CDC.
Oh yeah.
I think Strength and Honor played. Maybe Annie Up played as well. But I'd gotten a Spook City Records comp there. They were like, Fight Like Hell was handing them out for free.
That's what's up.
I had like Wisdom and Chains on it, and I believe it was Choose Your Weapon was on it as well. So I knew who Choose Your Weapon was. I downloaded a couple Nurse the Flame songs or whatever, so I knew his music. He's like, yo, I sing in Nurse the Flame. I'm like, dude, I fuck with Nurse the Flame, you know? And I think the song's called Voices of Ignorance. I'm like, yo, that song fucking rips. Like, great song. And then, like, I think they played that night because we left, and he, like, got up on stage, and it's like a stage. It was a fucking floor of a junkyard. And he's like, yo, this song goes out to Camden. And I'm like, dude, sick. Like, so it was literally, like, from there, it was love North Carolina.
We started just fucking meeting people,
Yeah.
and everyone's cool. Yeah, man, that's fucking, like, I'm not like a forward person, so if I was gonna move to like a different place, like, and have to show up at a show, and I was like, I don't even want to mosh.
Yeah, but that's kind of, I'm gonna say the good thing about it, right? Is having lived in so many different places, you have to be that way. You know what I mean? You have to reach out and talk to people,
Put yourself out there.
or you know, I'm just gonna sit in my damn like the barracks, just sitting there by myself.
Right.
So in that's been awesome for me, because like I said, I moved everywhere. So everywhere I go, I have to be the one to reach out to people and be like, yo, where's the show? What's up? Blah, 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 blah. It might come off annoying to some people, but
hey, well, yeah.
I ain't trying to be alone.
Yeah, exactly. That especially like hardcore is fucking everywhere you go for the most part, and like you can like find a show here or there, but that's how you're gonna probably find the people that you get along with. Like,
right.
I'm not gonna go in a fucking sports bar and start talking to some
right
dudes, like,
when it's such a close knit community too, right?
Yeah.
Like when I moved to New York, didn't know anybody, but Chris Smith knew through playing in the band Ghost Ship, and a couple other bands knew this guy that I'm friends with, this guy that I'm friends with, this guy. Yeah. So it was like, yo, you know this guy? Oh, sick. Like, that's my brother. That's my friend, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's super easy once that link up is established. Like, yeah. You can go to any place. You could go to California right now, and you know somebody that knows somebody. There's literally one, what do you call it? One step of separation or whatever.
Yeah.
Between you and everybody. Yeah. 1 degree of separation between you and like everybody.
Yeah.
It's wild and awesome.
Yeah. And even if it's like, well, they're going back, it was in Las Vegas. Like, you see a dude, I seen a dude with a Terror shirt. And I was like, Terror? Like, what up?
Yeah.
He's like, just did like a little thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's all it takes.
Right.
You know, like, I don't know if he's from there or just in just having a good time. But if I was there looking for a show, like,
yeah, you know the guy, and you could pick him out too, man. Like, you could, even if like a dude does not have like a Terror shirt or any hardcore band shirt on, you know, I don't know. At least I can. You could. That dude listens to hardcore, you know. Yeah,
in the way, like, people carry themselves.
Yeah,
like there's a certain way, you know, not you have to, but you just end up, you know, like acting. Well, not acting, but like being, you know,
right,
like a hardcore dude, you know, and like. Walk with your head up high,
right?
You know, chest out.
Yeah, yeah, it's great.
Fucking swinging your arms like a tough guy. Like, I'm a tough guy. You're a tough guy. Look at you, man. You lift a lot of weights.
Nah, I just exist.
You're a big motherfucker. Yeah. What do we got? 120. Shit, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. So now your job now, is it related to like the military? Or?
Yeah. So I work for the Department of Defense. I do air traffic control.
No shit.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a long time.
So at an airport?
Yeah, I work at Selfridge, the Air National Guard base.
No shit, dude. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is cool, man. One time I pulled in there on accident because I'm a truck driver. Yeah, dude, I was looking for a spot to turn around.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah. So you just.
Yeah. I again, like, North Carolina changing my life, right? Yeah. I got stationed in North Carolina. One of my best friends when I worked in North Carolina worked in upstate New York. So I got out of the military. I'm sitting there waiting. He calls me up, yo, you want to work up here? Yeah. Puts a word for me. I get hired in up there. And then this job opens, and I apply for it, got this job, moved back.
Okay, so you applied, had the job before you even moved back.
Yeah.
Just like your chance to move back. Like, did you want to? Or it just sort of all fell together?
No. I'm not going to say I didn't want to. My setup in New York was great. You know, I had great friends. Job was perfect job. And then we had my daughter when we was out there, and wanted to get her back close to family and stuff like that. So my wife wanted us to move back. I reluctantly was like, all right, cool, like fine, we'll go. Great. You know what I mean? Like at the time I was bummed. Now I love where I work. I love what I do. I got the band going now. So literally, like, it worked out perfect.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Yeah. It's weird too, because even, I don't know if you're here for good or whatever, but
Yep.
at 34, 35, like, I'm like sort of in that same boat. Like, I'm just now, everything is settling down finally, just like trying to get my life together. Even have a 13-year-old son, 7-year-old daughter, like everything, like it's weird. A lot of people's lives like went to shit during the pandemic, but mine just got better.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know how, but
Yeah, I got more days off work.
Yeah.
Still was working, still getting paid.
Hell yeah.
It didn't really affect me in a negative way, except for obviously shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I like the movie. I like movies and all that stuff. So
yeah. Fuck. So air traffic controller for like jets and shit.
yeah, anything that flies.
Anything that's coming into Selfridge.
Anything that's flying between, like, you know where City Airport is?
Yeah.
Between like City Airport and Sarnia. And then on the other side, like I don't know what to say that way, but like down in Canada, like huge chunk of airspace.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if anybody finds this interesting, but I do. Like, are you just like, so you did like a radar? You're like monitoring like how many aircrafts are in your like radius?
Yeah. So
to make sure nobody fucking crashes.
Right. That's basically what it is. I set it a scope. Everybody that flies through that wants what's called flight following or wants traffic advisories or whatever talks to me. I issue traffic. If they need a certain approach or whatever, I vector them for the approaches. Issue their clearances, all that jazz. Yeah, probably too much more than I should have. Probably
that's a lot of fucking responsibility. Telling these things going 590 miles an hour where to land.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's interesting, man. Yeah, like even it's like I said, I'm a truck driver, and I was looking for something around the area. I don't know where I was going, but it's like a pretty long like road to get to like the front gates of that place.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I can just turn around right here real fast.
Can't.
No, dude, man, like 3 guards were like over here. I was like, no,
take your ID from you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just turning around. They're like, no. I was like, okay. they took my fucking license, like the insurance for the truck, everything. They had like these mirrors like going underneath the truck and shit.
Dude, nothing bums me out more about like going to work than getting stuck behind somebody that did that. That like accidentally made the wrong turn and just trying to turn around because it's a big ordeal, right?
Yeah, dude.
Like you said, they have to take your ID, they have to do this stuff. They can't just like be like, oh, turn around, because what if you just keep going? You know,
drive right through that fucking
right.
Gate.
So
man.
So literally, it's probably like, and it's a small inconvenience. It maybe takes 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you're like trying to get through the gate, trying to get to work, and now I'm stuck behind this guy that took a wrong turn. It's like, yeah. But
well, I mean, it's like, it's not just as bad. I used to go to Canada a lot, and like to see like people that would like end up on the ramp, like to the
took a wrong
Bridge.
turn, and
they just stopped. They're fucking reversing down the ramp. And there's fucking like border patrol flying at them, and I'm just sitting here like I just need to get that way.
Yeah, if you ever want to look like a drug mule, reverse away from customs.
They're on your ass.
You were getting strip searched.
I've seen it lots of times. Like I've seen like cars of like these little like hood ass kids, you know.
Yeah.
And there's like 8 people in like a car. They're all got their hands on it and shit. And I'm just trying to fucking get by. I'm like, oh man, they're on their way to school, made the wrong turn.
You know Ryan Zakar?
I know
Big Dad.
Yeah.
I remember going to Canada with him one time, and I think it was me, him, Billy, and maybe Corey. I don't know. But they was like, you guys got any weapons? You got anything on you? Or what do you say? Yeah, I think it's weapons. And they're like, nah. And then they're like, look at Ryan, and they're like, what are those tattoos of? Weapons. He's like, all right, we're going to need to stop this car.
Like, well, yeah, I've been fucked with a lot. And I would only bring like, when I would go, there's always auto parts. Is the only thing I'd bring there. And
sure.
I see the same, there's maybe like 20 customs peoples, and they rotate like every hour, so they can't, like set something up at like a booth or whatever. But I'll see these guys day after fucking day, and they're like, what do you have and where are you going? Auto parts. I'm going to Ingersoll, Ontario. They're like, from where you stopping on the way? I don't know. If I take a piss, I'll stop one of their en routes.
Right.
That's about it. But they can be a hard fucking time.
Yeah, it's funny because like even like when we did the Europe tour, when we were coming like home from Amsterdam and going to Canada, anytime you deal with customs, they usually give you shit. And then for me specifically, then they'll be like, "Where do you work?" And I always tell them, like, "Yo, I work for the federal government." And as soon as I say that, they're like, "You're good to go. Like, go ahead."
Yeah.
So
do you just have like a regular, like a military ID, or okay?
Oh, it's similar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just a little more.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do pretty much everything with a military ID.
Well, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Discounts everywhere.
Yeah, and I'm not afraid to use it.
Fuck no shame, dude. I would too.
Yo, Veterans Day, every place gives out free meals. Yeah, I'm hitting up 9 different places. Yeah.
I'd be all over.
I got a whole car full of free Little Caesars pizzas, and
so it's such a scam. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's sick. And I feel like sometimes I'll feel bad about doing it, you know.
Yeah.
And then like this year, I went to a bunch of places, and when you go to like say Little Caesars, right, they give you a free pizza.
Yeah.
And like, I'll hit up one Little Caesars, and there'll be a dude behind me in line. And then I'll drive like a couple miles down the road, go to another Little Caesars, and that same person's behind me in line. And I'm like, all right, I ain't the only one, you know.
Flash your ID.
Yeah, I ain't the only one doing it. It's awesome, man. It's like it's like a big scavenger hunt.
Oh, that's fucking
dude, it's
fun.
sick.
I'd love it.
I always have like the map laid out. Me and my dad do it every year, and like so it's like a bonding thing me and him do. So like we'll have like this Little Caesars, and this place, and we'll hit up this place, and luckily this year was sick because with COVID and all that stuff, there was no dining in.
Yeah.
So every place was to go. So usually it'll be dine in only.
Oh yeah.
Because so the wait staff, the wait staff will get tips and stuff, so people still make money. But this year it was dine in only, or I'm sorry, carry out only. So like the backseat, I'm telling you, I got pictures on my phone, man. The backseat of the car was like filled up with stuff.
I don't get no shame.
Oh, it's great.
I serve this country. I deserve some free shit.
Hell yeah. I spent some time in Iraq. I deserve this money, or not the money, this free food.
Nice. You were in Iraq, did some action?
No, hell no.
No, oh no.
No, I mean with my job, you're on base the whole time.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so are you doing air traffic there too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not to say that like there's not shit that happens.
Yeah.
On base, you know, you're getting. I'm gonna do air quotes here. Attacked, right? There's missiles going over the like the Chow Hall got bombed while we was there. But it wasn't. You know what I mean? Just kind of was what it was. You know, there's a car bomb that went off at the gate. Like,
damn son, that's fucking scary.
Yeah, but like, I'm not gonna say like I seen some shit. You know?
Yeah, no. Yeah, hey.
No. I literally, I gained like 60 pounds of muscle when I was out there, and ate.
Nice. Yeah. I hear those fucking bases are pretty fucking wild. Were you on a big base?
No, tiny base.
Okay. I know some are like small American cities.
Yeah, I mean it was like, I'm not gonna say it was small. It was a smaller base, but like it was so spread out.
Is there a Subway?
No, there's a Burger King though.
Okay, yeah, I knew there's a fast food.
Yeah, there's like a Burger King and a Pizza Hut.
Nice.
But it was cool. Well, I'm not gonna say it was cool. It sucked, but it was like in trailers. Like they were like food trucks.
Oh shit.
But it was like
a little sticker on the door.
Yeah, Burger King, and there's a Starbucks too.
Oh,
but it was like, again, it was like on wheels.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. The best croissant sandwich I've ever had. It was there because they don't have like the shitty like American croissant sandwiches. You know what I mean? They have like, I don't know where they come from, but it was like a different kind of croissant sandwich. It was sick.
Well, because when you go to get one of those, you know, for like breakfast, you're about to get one with fucking ham and bacon, egg and cheese, and it's some fucking piece of shit. Like
falling apart.
I'm in Toledo, or you know, for Detroit, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
There's nothing more disappointing than like fast food already sucks.
Right.
But to get like shitty fast food, like
it ruins your day.
Yeah, like a McDonald's sucks almost every fucking time.
Yeah,
like,
I don't fuck with McDonald's.
Never.
French fries excluded. I fuck with McDonald's French fries.
Yeah, we gotta be good and crispy, man.
Yeah.
Well, Canada has the best fast food.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like, so I'm like a huge fan of if I go to fast food, like you got to know what you want, right? Mm-hmm. Or know what you're in for. So I don't, you know, you don't go to a fast food place for filet mignon. You know, you go to a truck stop, you want a greasy burger or something like that.
Yeah.
So we was driving somewhere in Canada one time. I love A&W. Love A&W. But A&W in Michigan or New York or whatever is like a greasy fast food cheeseburger, you know?
Yeah.
We went to one in somewhere in Canada, and it was like weird. It was like a gourmet burger, and it was like super, I'm not going to say clean because it was still a burger, but like clean for a burger.
Yeah.
And I was just bummed. I didn't want it. I literally, I don't even think I finished it. If I don't finish a burger, we had a problem.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm like, fuck this thing.
We like the Taco Bell's fucking weird too.
Yeah.
Because like, well, now they got the fries here, but they had fries at Taco Bell fucking like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Toledo too, man. Toledo's like a test
real?
market for a lot of things. So like when the Doritos Locos Tacos or whatever came out, they had them at the Toledo Taco Bell. All the Toledo Taco Bells. They had them like years before they had them anywhere else.
So you have to eat a Doritos Locos Taco like, within like 1 minute. After
Yes. Yep.
Just,
they're not great.
It's just complete.
The Cool Ranch one's fire, but like, they stopped making it.
Yeah. Like I said, it has to be gone like within a minute.
Yep.
Because it just turns to shit.
I remember when we was in Europe, we was like, me and Critter were talking. We're like, yo, we're not going to any fast food places. We're just, we're gonna eat local shops. We're gonna eat so fucking good. Yo, we ate McDonald's every day, and I'm not even mad about it. Like, it was great.
Good McDonald's?
Well, because there's all kinds of different things, right? Like, they have free Wi-Fi there. So when you go there, you can actually check your phone and see what's going on with your family and stuff like that. And then it's also relatively clean. It's completely different than it is here. Fries are great. Yeah, it is good.
I love Critter.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him on here, but he's fucking always busier.
Yeah, he works 6 days a week.
Yeah. With the kid and, wife.
Yep.
And, he lives not close to me.
Right.
So trying to coordinate with him and Matt to make it all work because we all got families. We all work like fucking maniacs. And I'm about to just fucking drive to his house and fucking throw in my trunk.
Yeah, you almost have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I live not pretty close, honestly, an hour from him, and it's still...
Critter, motherfucker.
It's an event when we all get to hang out and stuff like that. Yeah,
man. Yeah, I just can't wait till shows come back. Like, there's nothing in sight, which is like the sad part. I mean, at least I don't.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're booking stuff for
summertime.
Yeah, for late summer.
Yeah.
But that most of those are like that. Furnace Fest was a late summer fest. And then is it Riot Fest? That's that big like My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, that's already all out. That whole lineup.
Yeah, that's supposed to do it. And there's a couple tours or something, or maybe shows that have been announced for September or August or something like that. Hopefully it soon because I'd like to. Yeah, I'd like to play.
Dude. Because you got some shit to show people, man.
Yeah, I hope so.
I'll be there punching little kids, knocking off little 18-year-old heads.
Hopefully there's enough people there to do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I figure like some people might be like might have like a brother or sister with
pre-existing conditions and stuff.
Yeah, die or whatever, like parents, grandparents.
Yeah,
which sucks. Like you're fucking up with everybody. Fucking with everybody.
Yeah.
Man. So it's been a year. Still can't do nothing hardly. Like I was going to Toledo to get food.
You could eat inside at Toledo.
To go out and get some fucking food, man. I was going crazy.
Yeah, the new what I don't know what the rule is or whatever, but there is indoor dining now in Michigan.
Yeah, and
I went and ate someplace in Rochester Hills or something like that, and it was great. Got to sit down. I'll say this before the pandemic and anything like that. I have been a firm supporter of social distancing. Yeah. Get the fuck away from me. So being able to eat at a restaurant and not have some person like right back to back with you is fucking sick.
Yeah.
I went to Cedar Point during this whole thing.
Oh, was it sick?
Oh, it sucked. It was literally like the worst experience of my life.
I had to wipe everything down and shit.
It took me. So you have to wait in line to get a ticket to wait in line. So like you wait in line for like 3 hours to get a ticket, and then it'll have on the ticket, it'll say, come back at noon.
Oh, yeah.
So then you show up at noon, and they'll let you in the line then. So, like, there's a ride, the Maverick. I don't know if you fuck with Cedar Point or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not like a super new ride. It's not like one of the crazy rides. We were just walking by it, and some lady was like, I have 2 tickets for right now. Do you want them? I'm like, yeah. Like, let's go. We sat in line for 3 hours for it. we went there. We were there all day. That was the only ride we rode.
Fuck, man, that sucks.
Yeah. So hopefully it changes in next year's, or I guess this year's better.
Hey,
but yeah, worst experience of my life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this place in Florida, it's part of Universal Studios. But it's called Volcano Bay. It's like a water park there.
Yeah.
And but they got a great system there. Like as soon as you get there, like, you put on like a watch. It's like a watch, like a wristband, pretty much. And every ride or slide or whatever the fuck you want to go up to, you just like tag it. Boop. It'll say like come back in like a 45-minute wait or whatever. Right. And but you can't ride another ride unless it says like ride now, like outside the ride. Like, you get on and off real fast. You can't do a 45-minute line and a 30-minute line.
Right.
I don't know why, but it was cool because there's a few rides that'll say come back in 45 minutes, and then you can go do like 2 or 3 like not so fun rides, I guess. Right. Or, like, get food. Like you don't got to stand there like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, shivering the whole time.
Yeah, exactly, the whole time. And or like like mad because I'm wasting an hour in line.
Right.
When I can go get some food or I do whatever the fuck I have to do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I fuck with water parks heavy.
I love water parks. I went to Kalahari the first time like a month ago.
Yeah, I just went to in Sandusky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just went to Great Wolf Lodge, which is like right down the road from there. A month ago maybe.
Nice.
Dude, it was
Is
weird.
That indoor water park somewhere there?
Yeah.
I fucking love all that shit.
Me too. I feel like an idiot because like I'm a rather large guy, know, and like my daughter's running on shit, and I'm like trying to follow her up everything. And I'm like getting stuck in the slides and stuff. And
yeah, they're a little bit younger, right?
Yeah.
Well, shit, man. We can just your shit drop when this comes out. I'm gonna put this out on the 29th.
Perfect. So not this Monday, but
one
the next
song
Monday.
will be on there, and then the rest will be available.
Yeah, on April 2nd.
Nice.
Unless that's what we're aiming for.
Okay.
I've never done a lot of this shit before. So like getting music onto Spotify is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So doing that, dealing with I have a degree in digital cinematography, so making movies.
Oh, cool.
So I'm working on like a promo video and stuff like that for it. But I'm waiting. I'm waiting for people to finish their part. So like Thoma is doing like working on a logo or whatever that I want to put in the movie and on like the press release and stuff like that.
Fuck yeah.
And we're doing everything ourselves right now. So it's kind of trial and error on everything. There's like samples on the record, and apparently a lot of like online distribution has issue with clearing samples and stuff like that. So no matter what, it'll be available on at least Bandcamp on April 2nd.
Good shit.
But hopefully they can get on all streaming and stuff like that.
Yeah, easier access. Well, because Bandcamp's a fucking website.
Yep.
Is there even? I don't know if there's an app.
I don't think so.
Okay, I just go to Bandcamp.
But you like it, and I might be fucking this up, but I think when you close, like if you're like streaming it at the gym or whatever, and you lock your phone.
Oh yeah,
I think it cuts.
Yeah.
Which is a pain in the ass because I feel like this record is a gym record. You know what I mean? It's a
one thing I can tell you. Well, I don't know if it's like cheating anything out of the bands or whatever, but there is websites where you can put the Bandcamp link in, and download the MP3.
Oh yeah,
So I don't know. Like I said, if it's like cheating the band. I have no idea.
I don't care.
Be free. It's on fucking Spotify. So what's the difference?
If there was any aspiration to make any money, we wouldn't have done a hardcore band.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want it, get it, take it, because honestly, like there's I'd probably say a handful of bands that make money off of their streams.
And put them on this hand.
Yeah. So by no means do I anticipate or need to. We all got jobs and shit like that.
Yeah,
like if you want it, take it. Text me, I'll give it to you. I'm really not sweating it at all.
Because I heard that shit. It's fucking hard. I mean, you guys did a good thing. It's like
appreciate it.
There's a few bands in Detroit now that are, making noise. Whatever, Never Ending Game. And I think Enemy of God's pretty fucking good. Yeah. Annie Up. All those bands like Smash Your Enemies on Upstate, but. You guys are coming. I know.
I hope so.
Woo!
I really hope
It's
people
gonna be
fuck with
fun.
it.
It's gonna be a good time. I'm ready for it.
Hell yeah.
And once shows start happening again, I know you guys will be at the sanctuary.
Yeah.
Burning it down.
Yeah, hopefully everything goes well and
yeah,
we can make it happen.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming,
Dude,
man.
anytime.
Awesome. All right, how do I end this from here? See, I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Dude, trust me, I know exactly what you mean. Like I'll shoot videos